Welcome back to Vivid Racing. My name is Aaron, and today we have this 2024 Civic Type-R. We're gonna give it a little bit of the VR treatment. We're putting on our VR Performance titanium exhaust, and we're also gonna be putting on our VR Performance Turbo Inlet Pipe, also made of titanium. Obviously, all of this is gonna look really good, but we're really excited about how it's all gonna sound paired up together on this beautiful FL5 Type-R. Let's not waste any time, let's get this party started. This is hands down one of the easiest exhausts to swap out. All you have to do is first remove the rear diffuser, and that's just a couple of push pins. Then it is literally just a couple of bolts on the front of the exhaust to disconnect it from the front pipe. The rest of the system is literally just hanging by exhaust hangers. Just like any car, exhaust hangers can be a little bit of a pain. I found a lot of success by spraying it with some isopropyl alcohol, trying to get some of that fluid in there in between the rubber grommet and the hanger, and then with some extra persuasion, they came off pretty easily. All right, got the exhaust off of the car, so we're moving along pretty good. It was really easy to take off.
We are going to install our VRP titanium exhaust on this FL5. This is just bolt-in, should be OEM fit.
Pretty straightforward. You just have to swap over the valve from the factory exhaust, which that just sits right up here, and you just unbolt it from here, bolt it in here. Good to go. Nothing to it. As you can tell, identical in shape and path. So like Shane said just a second ago, we got ourselves an OE fit. Before we throw the exhaust on the car though, we're gonna weigh both of them to see what the weight differences are. We're gonna save quite a bit of weight by going all titanium versus stainless, like significant. So this might be a little interesting how we weigh these. Just bear with us.
Watch this, watch this, watch this. I got it.
This whole thing.
Dude, I got it.
Oh wow, okay. I don't think it's tall enough.
42.45. So
42 pounds? Oh, we're gonna lose a ton of weight. What do you think we're at?
23.
24 and a half. Oh! 24 and a half. All right, so one of the things that really helps with an exhaust and exhaust performance is how much thicker an aftermarket exhaust is than a factory exhaust. If we're gonna take a look at this factory exhaust, we've got our calipers here. We have an inside diameter of 2.25 inches, so 2¼ inch exhaust. Definitely seen a lot worse on factory systems. Like the Nissan Z had it was barely a 2-inch exhaust. That thing was a straw. So a lot of cars will absolutely benefit by getting an aftermarket exhaust. Speaking of which, we have our titanium VRP exhaust that we're throwing on the car. So if we're gonna look at that inside diameter, we got 2.68 inches. So a lot more room for a lot more airflow to move to make more power, gain some efficiency. Now, unless you're doing downpipes, unless you're doing an intake, unless you're doing a tune, you're not really gonna see a whole lot of performance gain. On a catback exhaust, on any car, call it 10 horsepower. Really aren't gonna notice it power-wise, but you will see a lot more benefit if you do a lot more mods to your car. So just keep that in mind. Well, that wraps up all our bro science. Let's get to finally just throwing this thing in so we can finally hear it. Installing our VR Performance titanium exhaust was just as simple as removing the factory exhaust. Now don't forget, you do need to remove the valve actuator from the factory exhaust and place that onto the new exhaust. This retains all of your factory valve function, so no matter what drive mode you're in, it will act as if it was the factory exhaust in there. It just now sounds a lot better. And just like any valved exhaust, once everything is mounted and hanging on its own power, it is wise to start up the car and make sure that the valve is actuating as it should. It's not common for anything to go wrong here, but it's just wise and kind of cheap insurance to make sure before you get everything fully buttoned up that it's working and functioning properly. All right, so we got everything complete with the exhaust for this install. It fit really well. This is a direct bolt-in replacement from the factory exhaust, and it does bolt up perfectly to the factory front pipe as well, so there's no fitment issues there whatsoever. Obviously, having a lift helps things, and if you had to do this on the ground, it wouldn't be all that bad. You might just have a little trouble fighting the hangers is all, but a little persuasion goes a long way with those. All right, so let's take a look at this titanium turbo inlet pipe for the FL5. So here it is. Just a minty looking piece of titanium. And then we have the nifty little elbow here. These will made up something like that. You use some hose clamps and some hose fittings. There really isn't anything else to show you guys, so let's get into ripping out the old one and throwing this unit in. Removing the factory turbo inlet pipe is as easy as it comes. There are just a couple of bolts you need to remove, loosen a couple hose fittings, and then you gently wiggle it out of the engine bay, and that is literally it, and we're off to installing the new titanium turbo inlet pipe. Just do everything in reverse, line up your hoses, line up your clamps. You'll probably spend more time finding which way you want to clock the hose clamps than the rest of the install. Now this is another scenario where you can use isopropyl alcohol to help lube up the surface. It helps everything slide on seamlessly and easily. There really isn't much to it. Someone could easily swap this out in their driveway in an hour or less. Well, there it is, guys. That's everything for our VR Performance titanium exhaust and titanium turbo inlet pipe. Both of these are amazing first mods to the car, and if any of you are interested in purchasing these, there are links down in the description below. Additionally, if you need anything else, doesn't matter what it is, check out vividracing.com for all your car part needs. We've got everything you need. But that's all we've got for you guys today. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please smash the like button, hit subscribe, maybe share with a friend. If you guys made it to the end of the video, let us know in the comments by saying VTech is daddy. That's because why not? I gotta go. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.